Hello, welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2023 semi-final 2 reflections and also my thoughts on the grand final running order. Please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell and like, share and comment below. And you can tell I'm a little bit creaky, a little bit disco damaged because I was at Euro Club last night till quite late on. So it was we saw Jedward and Melvin and Nikki French and a lot of dancing as well. And we got to watch, and earlier on in the evening, we watched the semi-final 2 at Euro Club. And even earlier on in the day, in the afternoon, I actually watched the afternoon dress rehearsal of semi-final 2 actually at the arena. So in terms of just looking back on how my predictions did, I think I got like 9 out of 10 in the end. And the one that tripped me up was I had put Georgia going through instead of Albania. Now I have to confess that if I had been doing my predictions after I'd seen the live semi-final at the sort of the show myself at the dress rehearsal, that probably would have been the ones I would have swapped around because for all that Georgia's quite she's a great singer. It felt certainly in the arena, it felt a static performance, and although it was more impressive on TV, it still felt quite static. Whereas I think Albania, they really got that strong message across. So yes, I'm not surprised. Pretty pleased for Albania though. They've done really well. Considering I think no one really expected them to get to the final this year. So no other great surprises. I wasn't surprised Poland went through. I think people like the cheesy song, and there will have been some diaspora voting as well. So not really that surprised that has gone through in the end. So yes, it was just really good. Another great show. Not quite as didn't have quite the same poignancy as the first semi-final, but we still had Maria Yaremchuk and the winner. Sorry, not the winner. The representative of Ukraine's for Ukraine from Junior Eurovision Song Contest. Doing a really lovely piece, and we had a lot of fun with the 3 drag queens doing that inclusivity and diversity medley. It was a lot of fun, so it was still a great show, and Hannah Waddingham is definitely turning out to be a complete breakout star. So looking ahead, the running order of the grand final is out, always a good item for discussion. Of course, it came out around 2 o'clock or whatever time it was, and of course people were there in Euro Club examining it. Some surprises there. I think the biggest one is the opener, which is Austria, one of the big fan favourites. Maybe suggesting the televote wasn't quite as strong as we might have thought. Difficult to say. I'd say I love Austria, but I think the general consensus is the staging perhaps isn't quite as good as it could have been. Some other interesting ones. Portugal gets the second place, which is, I suppose, I don't think we were expecting Mimkat to be winning Eurovision, but feels a slight rum do because I love that song. It's a great song, but I think maybe the producers want to keep quite an up-tempo start to it because they've got Poland in the fourth, they've got one star one with third, which is Switzerland. But yeah, so they've sort of got a bit of an up-tempo start. They had a real challenge with that first half because they had several of the big favourites there. So they put France in 6th, they've got Spain in 8th, and then Sweden, which of course is the current big favourite, in 9th, which is probably it's probably about as early as they can in order where they can put a break in to get, because her staging requires a break to sort of wheel on to get ready, unless they put her first. And I can't imagine that would have ever happened. Although you could say, if it's a good enough song, you can win from anywhere. I half wanted to see if they would put Sweden in second, just to see if it could break the curse of second. And that would have been a feather in Sweden's bow, if they had managed that. Anyway. Italy's got a lovely spot in 11th. Albania's not bad in 10th as well. And of course, Finland, my big favourites, and still one of the big fan favourites, even if it doesn't prove to be a jury favourite, is in a plum spot of 13th. It's the last song in the first half of the semi-final. So clearly the producers consider it a favourite. So I wonder what that means about what televote it got in semi-final 1. And then to the second half, you have Czechia kicking off the second half. They're sandwiched between Finland and Australia, which is a bit rough. I thought Czechia finally would be given a decent one, but actually maybe there'll be a break between Finland and Czechia, and it's a good start to the second half of the grand final. And then just some interesting ones towards the end. I think Israel and Slovenia have been given absolutely plum spots. 23rd and 24th are really great spots. Really pleased for Slovenia to get that. Because of course they were the last one called. It was, but yeah, I really hope this means that Slovenia could get one of their best of ever results. And then finally, penultimate is Croatia, which is a really interesting choice. And then we have UK closing after that. I don't know, some people have rather cynically said, as maybe because we've had some of the vocal issues with some of the UK rehearsals, maybe, so it's not up against a really strong vocal, but I'm not sure that's very fair. But yeah, it's going to be quite a sort of eclectic and a very kind of upbeat end to the show, so which is, again, probably what the producers want. I may get a chance to do a grand final preview. I'm thinking I might record that after the jury show, just to see, and obviously I'm not at the jury show, I'm at the dress rehearsal tomorrow afternoon, but I might kind of see what the vibe is, and then perhaps do a grand final, a small grand final preview. I think, at the moment, still very much, according to betting, it's Sweden's to lose, but I still think it's more like a 2-horse race. But I will perhaps do a few thoughts on that a bit later on after the jury show, and I'm following what people are saying. Anyway, of course, do let me know what you thought of the semi-final, what you think about the running order, all of that down in the comments, and you will see me again very soon, I think. Take care for now.